On May 26th, we have a new moon in the sign of Gemini that offers the potential for us to plant a seed. That's what new moons do, to break up some old ideas that might bind us right now. There's some interesting energy, sextiles and trines, a nice flowing energy between some of the outer planets and this new moon. I'll break down all that energy in the upcoming video. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. It helps people find me. The new moon in on May 26th in the first decan of Gemini, the first 10 degrees. And I just did a YouTube video. I'm doing a decan walk where I go through every 10 days a new 10 degrees of the zodiac, and I just posted a video on Gemini 1. So if you want a deep dive on this part of the zodiac that has to do with the new moon, check out that video. Gemini, the sign in general, is an air sign. All of the air signs have to do with communication, intellect, gathering information, putting it out in the world. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the god of communication, the messenger to the gods, Hermes in the Greek pantheon. Mercury's a fast-moving planet. It's got a flexible quality. It's the trickster. And so there's a quality to all the Gemini energy that's going to have a flexibility. Gemini enjoys looking at multiple perspectives. This is the sign of the twins, so that also represents the multiplicity of this Gemini energy. People with Gemini energy in general, just it's a mutable sign, so there can be a flexibility around their thinking. Sometimes they're thinking one thing, and the next day they're saying something completely different. And that's just part of the energy of the sign. If we look at the decan or 10 degrees where this new moon happens, it's also ruled under the Chaldean order by Jupiter, the planet of expansion and optimism, but also a planet that can have to do with hubris, meaning overconfidence, getting too sure of oneself. Jupiter is philosophical, likes to come up with the big idea. And when Jupiter is with another planet like Mercury, because Jupiter and Mercury both rule this decan, there can sometimes be an overwhelming amount of information or ideas, or our mind can sort of feel like it gets caught, right, in the structures of our mind. And so we can look at the tarot card that's associated with this decan to get a little bit of a feel for that. You see here a woman, and she's got the swords all around her. Swords represent air, right, and thinking. And Gemini's an air sign. She has swords around her. At first blush, it looks kind of ominous, like she's all tied up and can't get out. Well, when you think about it, the swords are not keeping her from moving forward. Her feet are not bound. She could walk right out. The rope that binds her is loose, so she looks like she could wriggle out. And even her eye covering, she's got a little eye peeping out there, so she could take a little peek and get out of the mind structures that are kind of bogging her down, right? So that first decan of Gemini, sometimes because Mercury and Gemini can have to do with thinking and intellect, sometimes you get some really great writers. The Margaret Atwood, who I just talked about when I did the video for the decan walk, has her rising sign in this part of Gemini. So that's where the new moon is. So something about the new moon is going to be about our thinking and about a new seed around how we think, because new moons are when the seed is planted in the ground, when we can manifest an intention for the upcoming lunar cycle. So the intention you might want to manifest with this new moon cycle is there a way to break out of the binds? If there's an area of your life where you feel like old ways of thinking are weighing you down, or that you don't realize the degree to which you maybe get in your own way, where you don't have the confidence to move forward on a new idea because of that spinning mind, that maybe you can manifest the potential of the Jupiter part of this decan, which allows for the idea of breaking free, of expanding one's visions, coming up with and manifesting something new in the world around how you think, this also relates to the numerology of the number eight. Had is the Sephirot in Kabbalah or Kabbalistic thinking, and some of the energy of the eights in numerology and in tarot has to do with actually getting going beyond and manifesting something in the world, connecting with the divine spirit to manifest something in the real world. So that can be part of the energy of the new moon. But what's more interesting in some ways is we have Pluto, the god of the underworld who brings transformation, is in a pretty tight trine, which is this nice flowing energy to that new moon. Pluto in a trine energy to the sun and moon brings the possibility for emotional transformation, the moon, and transformation of how we think, the sun, or our vision for our life. So this a trine energy is always going to feel like the wind beneath our wings, or behind our back. I always metaphors are not my strong suit. Ask my husband. But Pluto's in Aquarius right now. Aquarius is another air sign, and it has to do with humanitarian ideals and thinking more about the community at large than one's individual perspective. So you might imagine this new moon, if it's going to bring new ideas to you or help you break free, it might be that you break out of your personalistic thinking into some new innovative idea of how you can step forward in whatever part of your life the Gemini energy has to do with. Is Gemini is your rising sign, there might be a breaking free around your sense or your understanding of who you are. If it's your 10th house of career, something could shake up around your thinking, right? And Pluto allows for or permits the possibility of transformation in that part of our lives. But, and also, we do have the energy of Saturn and Neptune are in the mix as well. They are both at the very beginning of Aries, a fire sign. And so they're in a sextile to that Pluto. It's like Pluto's here and Pluto's here in Aquarius and Aries is down here in and Saturn and Neptune are down here in Aries, and then over here we have Gemini. So it's this sextile trine energy. That's all flowing energy. Saturn, Neptune, and Aries can bring a little bit of confusion. Saturn is in his fall in Aries. He can be a little bit, oh, what's the word for it? Impetuous, because it's like Saturn's the god of restrictions and responsibility, and Aries is this fire sign that wants to move forward. The first decan of Aries that's associated, or where Saturn and Neptune are falling, is this Two of Wands, and there's this idea of breaking out, establishing oneself in the world. So Saturn is there, not so strong, and then Neptune is there as well. When Saturn and Neptune are together, it can lead to confusion of boundaries because Saturn's the boundaries and Neptune is sort of melting. And so, as much as Pluto might be assisting us to break out of some old way of being, potentially, or mind structure, that Gemini energy, we also have to acknowledge that there might be a way in which we get a little confused about what that means because we have that nudging from Saturn and Neptune who mate in Aries where they want to establish themselves. There's a quality of Aries that has to do with I want to be me, and but there might be some confusion about that me and about what you want when Saturn and Neptune are there together in Aries. So it's a little complex. And I would just encourage, if you're going to set an intention around this new moon, that it include the intention to gain clarity before you take steps forward in response to some new idea that comes to you because of that Saturn and Neptune influence in Aries, which can have an impulsive, impetuous energy. But and also there's something promising. Like I said at the beginning, this may be the first step of a longer term process. Pluto helps shake something up about our thinking, and Saturn and Neptune and Aries want us to move forward. And we begin the process with this new moon, maybe shaking things up in how we think. But there's always the next step after that, right? We take the first step forward, maybe we fall or falter or we learn something in the process. So see this as the beginning of a longer term process around how the energy is going to be unfolding over the next couple of years in these air and fire signs in our chart. We've just had a lot of movement by the outer planets into air and fire. And this may be a little bit of a hint of what might be coming with you around that energy. So I hope this is helpful. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.